Now today is a very exciting day in the garden as we are officially doing our very late winter, early spring garden cleanback. Now it's a little bit earlier than I would usually do this. Currently it is late January, but the weather here has been incredibly mild. It's forecast to be incredibly mild heading into February when I would usually do this. And you know, I'm just tired of it. Everyone has different sort of preferences for how they cut back their garden. Some people do it in autumn. I like to leave it over the winter for some interest and also for the insects as well. But now that kind of, you know, the worst part of winter is through and everything has gone so mushy and horrible due to all the rain, I think it's finally time to cut everything back. So that's what we're going to do. All of these are hardy perennials anyways, so they should be fine. You know, a lot of other expert gardeners that I've seen have been cutting things back now. So it's more just a matter of when you can do it, you know, when you have time, when you are actually able to do it. And if you can see that new growth at the bottom of a plant, then it's definitely a good sign. It's basically ready to be cut back, in my opinion, and it's going to be coming up, you know, next year as perennials do. So if you're excited to see how I cut back the garden and transform it from this very dead looking realm, let's call it, then definitely leave a like on the video and subscribe as well for more gardening content. I'm armed with many useful tools today which are going to help make this a breeze. Our big secateurs, our little sort of clippers, some nice gloves, a pad to put my knees on. You know, we're well prepared in the garden today to get everything cut back. Now, not everything is getting cut back directly to the ground. For example, with these geums, they're kind of an odd one where a lot of next year's growth is already going to be there and we don't want to just cut all that back. So we're going to look at the leaves that are obviously dead and kind of pull them away and kind of strip it that way. I mean, you can tell which ones are dead very easily and they come off super easily as well. So this isn't so much a cut back, but you know, it's a nice little tidy, a prune if you will, getting it ready for spring. And if we need to do more later because the plant looks ugly or whatever, we can, you know. Just because I'm doing this big one now doesn't mean that I can't do any more later if I need to. It's just a matter of, you know, getting the main bits done now so the garden looks nice and fresh. Another good reason why I like to cut back a bit earlier than some other people do is my bulbs. My bulbs, you know, I have so many of them in these flower beds. So if I don't cut back, I'm not going to be able to enjoy them properly. They're going to be hidden amongst all this dead growth. And I really want to see them come through. And we've got so many this year coming through already. You know, with the weather being so warm and wet here in the UK this winter, it definitely feels like the right time. I mean, I know a lot of you might be in America or places where it's incredibly cold right now, but here in the UK, it's very mild. So, you know, just do what's best for you. Ultimately, there's no right or wrong way to do things in the garden. I know some people are very set in the right way of doing things, but truthfully, you live and you learn. You know, if this is a mistake, cutting things back this early and suddenly it gets very cold in February or even March, I'll live with that. That's fine. And for those of you worried about the insects as well, because I know a lot of insects hibernate in the dead growth around the garden, don't worry. As you can see, my garden still has tons of natural places for them to hide. I'm also surrounded by fields and forests, and I'm also going to leave out big piles of this dead matter as well, so the insects have time to move on to the more permanent natural structures in the garden. So yeah, the dead perennial growth is not going to be hosting too many of them anyways, but for those that are lingering around, they'll have their chance to go somewhere nice and new. And there we have it, geum successfully cut back. Is it perfect? Maybe not, but you know, like I said, we can always come back and do a bit more later on. We just got rid of all the sort of old growth, all the dead growth, and bits that have been eaten by slugs as well. The slugs are back in full force, unfortunately, since it is a very, very wet winter. But yes, that one's all done. Now, another job we have to do, this one doesn't really need cutting back, I think. Maybe a few trimmed dead leaves here and there, but we also need to take out all these leaves that have fallen, because there are so many sort of trees blowing in leaves around here. We get a lot of them, and we don't want that growth kind of affecting what's going to happen, you know, with next year's growth. So I think that's another important job. And as you can see, It does even reveal some little bulbs that are coming through. So there's lots of important things to remember when it comes to cleaning everything back. Some things are easier to cut back than others, by the way. For example, this Nepeta, we can see the whole top of this is dead. And since this is completely herbaceous, it's not sort of somewhere in between, we can just grab the whole top of this in the palm of our hand and cut it back using these big boys. Same with the perennial grasses as well. Some of them I do believe are a bit more evergreen than others, but I mean, look at this, you can tell it's dead. We left it up over winter because it is really nice winter interest. It looks great in the wind, in the snow, but at this point we want to cut it right back to the base so that next year's growth can come through. That's another reason why I don't like leaving cutting back too late. You know, I don't want next year's growth to be disturbed. And I know some people do worry that if you cut back too early, next year's growth might get damaged by the frost. But if you've got hardy enough perennials, they'll be fine, you know? I'm more worried about the fact that they'll grow weird shoots and such and not grow up straight if the old growth is in the way. So I'm not too worried about the frost. Besides, it doesn't get too cold here in England, which is good. Another good thing to do when cutting back is save your seeds. Definitely make sure to collect up any seeds that you can that you want to grow into perennials next year. Well, this year, I suppose. I keep forgetting we're actually in 2026 now. So yeah, definitely make sure to save the seed heads of lots of plants. You won't regret it. It'll be a great way of growing seeds for free. You know, there's still some things to collect out here, so I'm definitely going to be doing that. Well, I am officially exhausted, but that is one flower bed done. Still got all of the rest to do, but it does feel so satisfying to see this all cut back, ready to grow in for spring. And in doing so, I uncovered hundreds and hundreds of bulbs that were coming up, so that's got me even more excited. It doesn't look that big on camera, I know, so you're probably thinking, why are you so out of breath? But trust me, it's bigger in person than it looks on the video. And you know, there were probably about 50 different plants in here, maybe a bit more. So yeah, it took a long time, especially since all of them can't just be directly cut back to the ground. But yeah, as you can see, I'm really pleased. I think it's all looking really nice. We've got a lot of bulb growth coming through, which will fill in the empty gaps. But you know, at this time of the year, I don't mind empty gaps. I think I'd rather have that than a bunch of dead plant matter, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, it's looking really nice and fresh now. It's all ready for spring. So that brings an end to day number 1 of cutting back. And there you have it. We have officially cleared back the garden. Now, I know I've technically skipped forward a lot as I was just kind of working on finishing this one. But effectively what happened is during filming this, I got very, very ill and I kind of had to stop for a bit. So kind of, you know, slowly I've gotten this all cleared out. The back border is all cleared now. Something that, if you've watched my videos before, might look a bit of a surprise because I've never shown it like this in these videos before. So it's looking very crazy at the moment. But yeah, everything is cleared back. And most excitingly about doing this is the sheer amount of bulbs that are now visible because it's clear. You know, they now have a clear path to being seen, which is great. So I have lots and lots of projects planned out here this year, which is so exciting. And I think everything just being nice and cleared really sort of has motivated me to do more out here, you know? It's gotten me excited to actually be out in the garden again. And I think that's really important. So I'm very much looking forward to doing some more projects soon. But the big one is now done and we are ready for spring. One that is going to be done soon is I'm going to be clearing out this area, turning this into a new flower bed. Not a very big one, obviously. And I'm still going to keep a lot of the pots, just in case you like this little display. Don't worry, still going to keep the pots. But yeah, I'm very excited as well because if we look around, you know, if we just pause for a moment, you can see absolutely tons and tons of growth of the perennials that are already starting to come back. And that growth just wasn't here that long ago. It wasn't here at all. So it's warmed up a lot. It's been very wet. The perennials are coming through ready for next year, which I'm so excited about. So let me know what some of your plans are in the garden. When are you going to be clearing things back? I would love to hear. And don't forget to subscribe for more gardening content. I would love to have you here on the channel.